welcome to Secondhand Blasters. This is Normatico here, and tonight we are going back to 2020. You know, the year that was the proverbial dumpster fire with COVID. We are actually going to be reviewing today the Jet CEDA. Is it CEDA? CEDA? Whatever. Now, the Model S is the second CEDA blaster to be released. This was released in 2020, a follow-up to the original Jet CEDA, which was plagued with issues. Of course, the original Jet CEDA is viewed as the granddaddy, the forefather, so to speak, of the pro-level blasters in the affordable price range. It is a modular blaster that, of course, you just need to go ahead and actually pull these two pins out to break it down and make any necessary upgrades. It does come with a mini dart magwell. The Model S only takes mini darts, and it comes with a 15-round katana clip. It does also accept talons as well. It does have an extendable stock. Of course, unlike other blasters where it's very easy to extend the stock, this one is a little finicky because you have to actually pull this down, and that is how you extend the stock. Of course, you can remove this by pulling enough pressure on there. I've not removed it yet, but you actually have to just pull this down, and this stock is supposed to come out. Of course, now it is not wanting to cooperate, but that is how you do that. And of course, you pull up to close the stock as well. The priming handle, it has these metal slides right here, but you just simply pull down and it is primed and ready to go. You must prime it in order to load and unload this actual magazine. Of course, if you wanted to get rid of the magwell itself for the mini darts, you just actually pull on this blue tab right here, and the entire thing pops out. Now, I will tell you that when it comes to these magwells and the converters, I would probably stick with the Jet one. You can actually use different ones if you need to. This is the one from the X-Shot Pro. But again, I would recommend sticking with what you have, only because of the fact that even though you don't have the actual converter right here, you cannot use standard size darts in this blaster. It is because of the actual bolt itself. It is a little bit too long, so when you try to feed a standard size dart, it'll just hover right over it. It doesn't push it in. I've tried. Now, the blaster itself, it does claim to be a pro-level blaster. I'll be honest with you, we're going to be testing to see whether or not this blaster still lives up 3 years later. This was released in 2020, as I said, at the height of the pandemic. Now, since then, we've seen the Nexus Pro, we've seen the Dart Zone Max Pro, we've seen the X-Shot Pro Long Shot, we've seen the Dart Zone Pro Mark III, the Mark II. Pretty much every other Pro Blaster has come out since then. But this one, again, the Jet CEDA, it is the forefather of all those blasters, so we're going to see how it performs in comparison. I do have kind of high hopes because they bragged that this was the most accurate blaster stock out of the box. I have not done any modifications to this one. I will tell you, though, that by all accounts, this is one of the most modifiable blasters on the market. Again, you have the simple takedown, so you can easily replace the bolt sled. You can actually increase the spring load, and yeah, it brags 150 feet per second out the box, or up to 150 feet per second. Unfortunately, I do not have the darts that this came with originally because I got this secondhand. Surprise! The channel's name is Secondhand Blasters, and I'm reviewing a secondhand blaster. Okay then. Anyways, I'm going to be using the Dart Zone Max Ruby darts, as well as some bamboo darts to see just how powerful this blaster goes and how far it can actually shoot. And we're also going to be doing an accuracy test as well. So stay tuned next, because up now is the chronograph test.
It's another gorgeous sunny morning here in Ohio, and I am actually out at the parking lot range with the Jet CEDA Model S. We're going to go ahead and actually see just how far the forefather of the Pro Blasters can go. We are shooting with the Dart Zone Ruby darts here, and I don't know. I think this might not be the best Pro Blaster anymore, but we'll see if she still has a couple of good licks left in her. Time for me to go do a quick dart recovery. We'll see just how far these went and see whether or not the CEDA Model S is still worth it in 2023. All right, we're gonna do a long distance accuracy test. Let me just zoom in here. We're aiming for that second post. Unfortunately, I don't have a sight, so we'll see how well my hip shot is. And I'm back with my final thoughts regarding the Jet CEDA Model S. It is 2023, folks. This blaster, when it came out, I'm sure it was very impressive. And the price point, you know, $70 roughly. That's a pretty okay price for a pro-grade blaster. However, frankly, 3 years later, this one just cannot keep up anymore. It's not a bad blaster. I'm not going to say it's a bad blaster at all, because the priming, it's pretty awesome. It feels like it primes better than a Nexus Pro. The fact that you can actually take it apart fast with these two little pins, that's awesome. I don't like the fact that this stock is so hard to come off, because this is what you need to actually take off in order to get to the spring. But, you know, if you're going to keep it stock, it's okay, I guess. Definitely not my first pick on the battlefield. Accuracy test, look, I got within one little fence sections there, so that's not too bad. Especially seeing as I didn't have an actual sight. There's no real iron sight here. I was using the rail as a guide. So, yes, it did shoot straight. That might have just been me who had a problem aiming. Distance-wise, look, I got almost 140 feet with this, so that's not too bad, but that's at an angled shot. I'm going to say that effective range was closer to like 50 to 60 feet, but if you're comparing it to Elite Blasters, yes, this one's good, especially since some Elite Blasters can be in the $50 range. I know that they have a sale on this one where you can find it for $55. I was able to get a hold of this one for $20 on eBay, and I'm not upset that I spent that money, but I wish I would have learned more about this blaster beforehand. It's one of those things that people have done reviews on them. They were saying, oh, it is a awesome blaster. It is the forefather, and I give credit where credit is due. But now, I don't know. I would rather pay the upgrade and get the Game Face Try-On, or get an X-Shot. The X-Shot is only $30, and it performs so much better than this. Plus, you have the benefit of not only being able to use mini darts, but also standard Elite darts as well. And the performance on the standard Elite darts on an X-Shot is better than this with mini darts. So, there's my final thoughts regarding this blaster. is it good for someone who is 8 and up? I'll be honest with you, G-Rex has a hard time priming this, but if he was a strong enough child, or if they were a strong enough child, I think that the power behind this is fine for someone, say, 10 and up. I don't know about 8, especially if, as long as they understand that they're not supposed to be blasting other kids with this without actual protection on. Is this good for adults? Look, an adult can prime this pretty easily, and there you go. The one thing I will say, it is very easy to accidentally double prime this, which is what I just did. I'm going to go ahead and actually blast that out to shotgun this. So it's easy to double load it on accident, and that's the problem that I have with that blaster. So, you know, again, it's your choice. If you want to spend $70 on a older blaster that is not quite up to spec, the CEDA Model S is your one. If you don't have a pro level blaster and you want something that is not too powerful, okay, you know, there's that. I personally would still go with the X-Shot or the Nexus Pro, but that's just me. I want to go ahead and actually thank you all for watching Secondhand Blasters. Until next time, keep on blasting.